Good morning. This is Melanie Corey-Farini, and I'm going to record the 7 Tips Jumpstart Workshops. Thank you all for attending. I am Melanie Corey-Farini, and I've had Dynamic Space and 314 DC for about 20 years with Dynamic Space, and I started 314 DC with all my years of experience in opening restaurants with clients and really getting them on a good jump start before they sign a lease or before they make any major decisions, really to lay out the groundwork and really be their advocate to help them launch a space, analyze their menu, their competition, the construction and permitting time, and even sourcing local produce, veggies, and herbs. Let's get started. You want to create a new food concept, or you're rethinking your existing concept. You have a big idea, you're excited, but there's a lot of things to kind of think about before you jump into your project or to redo your project. Especially now, construction times are longer, it's more, lease rates are still high, costs are high, so let's kind of make a really good sound roadmap and business for you. First, we'd like to analyze your competition, your customer. You have a great menu idea, but does it really match the customers and the location that you're looking at? Look at other tenancies, your competition in the area, even if it's indirect. Who's going to buy your menu? Who's going to buy your dinner, your lunch, your breakfast, your snacks? Really put together and be as specific as possible. You know, it could be a 25-year-old male that works at Microsoft. It could be a 65-year-old female who loves to go swimming. Where does she swim? Really understanding what they do in the times of day is also going to help, because certain locations have higher traffic patterns certain times of the day and the week. Number 2, we really want to determine your space goals, and you don't need a space to do this. In fact, it's ideal to do it before you have a space or an idea or a food truck, anything. It's, you know, how much flexibility do you need? What type of flexibility do you need? What kind of storage? Are you going to grow greens or herbs or have your own garden on your rooftop, inside your building? Understand your equipment requirements, your mechanical, electrical, plumbing. It's going to help drive you to types of buildings, not only types of locations, but types of buildings as well. Do you want to be in a building and really is your mission and values and your whole philosophy sustainability? Do you want to be in a certified building? Do you want to really be known for sustainability? You should look into the B Corp certification. Even if you don't become B Corp certified, they have really good guidelines and really areas for you to think about with regard to labor practices, sourcing, and how you do business. Number 3, you want to create a space plan. Before you have a space, or if you're reworking your space, do a quick flow space plan. It's going to show you how customers enter your space, how deliveries happen, how operations occur. Think about it all different times of the day, all different times of the week. Working with different professionals, you can determine what your plumbing and restroom requirements, your ADA, your accessibility requirements, and any other building and health and safety requirements are needed. And then also your health department and your liquor permits, if that's what you're looking for. That will flow into, once you get the space and once you really now have planned, you know where you want to be, you know what space you want, we need to put your construction drawings together. That's what something like that would look like. We have also want to think about kind of, you know, the look and feel of your space. Does that really match, or is it close to the feel of the architecture of the building, of the area, of the population you're serving? You know, think about your material availability. You know, if you're looking at certain materials that you love, but it's way out as far as a lead time, you might want to look at alternates. It's all good to look at that up front because you don't want to be held up by those things. Another thing to really think about is what kind of technology, mobile ordering, that's huge. You know, that is a huge piece of this, and to know ahead of time. Don't leave that to the end. You might want to get some local artists some graphic artists to really, enhance your space. Use QR codes not only for menu ordering, but it could be also for people to understand how you source materials. If you do have a mural in your space, it's maybe it highlights the local artists. So there's a lot of ways to use technology besides just menu ordering. So really, number 5, what team do you really need for this? And again, the team is really important. You should be focusing on your menu ingredients, your sourcing, who's going to be working with you, your managers, your staff. You want to get that on par, just like top level quality, and you want to understand those costs. That's going to feed into how much can you pay for your space, how much can you pay for your equipment. It all feeds into each other. So having the right project manager, I happen to be a project manager and I help clients and I'm their advocate all the time. Real estate brokers, you may need a food service design consultant. You may not. A lot of kitchen equipment companies do that and help with that. Architects, you're going to need probably an architect just for permitting, but if it's not an architect that understands food, your project manager who understands food can help that process with permitting and overseeing contractors. Finding contractors that understand retail and restaurant is going to be your best advantage because they understand lead times, they understand permitting, how to talk to the permit inspectors when they arrive on site. Branding and marketing, you may need somebody to help you with social media, your website. Again, get help. You can't do it all. You should be focusing on really the things that that's really going to help you stand apart with your concept, which should be your food and should be your service. And then once you figure out your team, really understanding their roles and responsibilities, not only from the meetings they're going to show up at, what they're expert at, but what are they going to deliver? What documents are they providing you and why? You don't want to have too many people offering you the same deliverables, then you're paying twice for something. But you do want certain experts to complete something so it's not taking too long. You're not paying rent for months that you can't be open. So really get the right team in place. Number 6, once you have all this information that we've already done in steps 1 through 5, you can start really feeding this into a cash flow and a pro forma, and you can really start understanding kind of your cost benefit analysis here. If you pay more for certain ingredients, you can increase your menu maybe. Does that really pencil out? How does that relate to your space costs? And how long is it going to take you to recoup some of these space costs, these equipment costs? So you want to understand this hopefully before you sign a lease. And the other parts of this kind of analysis of costs is you're probably going to get pricing from 1 or 2, maybe 3 contractors, kitchen equipment providers, graphic design or signage companies, all the vendors that you're going to use. And you want to put a spreadsheet, or the project manager will put a spreadsheet together that will compare side-by-side costs. Because a lot of times the nomenclature between one agency and another may be different, and you want to understand why one may have been a lot lower than another. Maybe they left some items out. You wouldn't want to be caught in the middle of construction with a lot of change orders, or your kitchen equipment person forgot something. So it's really great to have that side by side so you can analyze anything you're missing or anything you need to add. Schedule is super important, especially before you sign a lease. This is going to be the tool that is really needed to give to your landlord and also your team to follow. It can be changed throughout the process. It's an organic document usually, but it's a really great document to give to your landlord to really help him or her understand why you're asking to start paying for rent at a certain date. Maybe you're asking for some free rent too to kind of kick off and give you some time. It helps them, and you really, use them as a partner to help you open as well. So one of the final things are long lead time materials, long lead time equipment. Before you bring on a contractor to a project, sometimes you need to order those ahead of time and have them stored somewhere, because we're running into long lead time items, and or maybe you find a really good deal on an item. think about areas that you want to store things before the contractor team comes on. And lastly, you are investing a lot of time and money in your idea. You want to hire someone that is your ally to help you create a roadmap for success. That's something that I can help you do. Project manager that has food service experience. I'm an architect. I have background in real estate analysis. I can help you and your broker team understand what space is going to be best for you. And in doing that, I have now a 30-minute, really a pre-project consultation, $65. If you're interested, go to www.dynamic.co. That has a link to the once a month 30-minute consultation. It's a group consultation, that one. If you want an individual, please contact me directly at melanie@314dc.com. This is my cell phone number. You can schedule through that, and I'll send you a link. My website is 314dc.com, but the workshop website is dynamic.co. And thank you so much.